Do you know the chat link?
Oh, we're live.
Hello, I'm John Waters, and I'm supposed to announce there is no smoking in this theater, which I think is one of the most ridiculous things I've ever heard of in my life. How can anyone sit through a length of a film, and especially a European film, and not have a cigarette? But don't you wish you had one right now? And I'm telling you that smoke anyway. It gives ushers jobs, and if people didn't smoke, there would be no employment for the youth of today. So once again, no smoking in this theater.
One, that's 3 quick maths. Everyday man's on the block. Smoke trees.
Oh my god, that intro was so hot!
Welcome to tonight's Plumes of Hazard. I'm Mass Blast 09, and these are my beard pulling co-hosts. Well, actually, Angsty would have to just be Cheeky's pulling co-host. Wow, that's pretty good, Ahmed. We have Chewbacca.
Sriracha farts.
Oh, nice. We have myself. I introduced myself. Mass Blast 09. Sriracha farts.
I got to read my fact real quick.
And last but not least, a man who has not checked for exploding packages outside his door yet. The Anxel Vapor, everybody.
Oh,
Planta bums.
What? Oh, wait a minute.
Oh God! Don't do it. Don't go check for the packages now.
Oh, well, shit! My camera's all blown out now. Fuck.
God damn it!
Ah, there we go. Look, Slajo, everyone.
With lime.
Ginger lime.
It's ginger lime.
I was chatting with Angsty earlier in the week. I had picked up a can of the feisty cherry. You can't call it feisty if it's not a feisty cherry. It was like a watered down cherry. It didn't keep me from drinking the whole thing. It wasn't a cherry Coke.
Which is weird because the reviews that I saw for the feisty lime or the feisty cherry said it was burning people's tongues.
No, I didn't get that. I ain't no bitch, but it didn't deliver and didn't take me to Flavor Town.
Yeah. But this one, Massey, to your credit, to your point, does taste like a Diet Coke with lime mostly, but after you exhale, you do get some ginger, which is really good when it's cold. And I cracked the first one up. My wife got me a little 6-pack or whatever. I cracked the first one up when I was playing a game the other night. So I cracked it, drank most of it, enjoyed it, and then didn't drink like the last 20% or something. I was playing a game. I was like, oh yeah, I'm thirsty. Just went and took a swig, and it was basically room temperature. It's fucking gross when it's room temperature, man. It is not good. The ginger is nasty.
Did your face go like this?
Almost got him.
It's close.
So close.
You did. It was a little rough.
I have a hard time.
Not good.
Room temperature anyway, unless I absolutely have to. Where it's like, oh my god, it's the only thing to drink. I'll chug one, but it's like that shit got to be like near frozen for me.
I think that's something you get used to because it's obviously better when it's cold, but I'll totally drink it room temperature if necessary.
I've drank.
Wait, hey, Jason Hunt just noticed my desk. That's actually something I'm going to talk about there later, Jason. I didn't even get to say anything about it.
Would you find Cathar likes cleaning up under all that?
Just a little sliver. Yeah, I totally forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I was gonna say drinking beverages when they're hot, like the next day tea that's been left over. You just swig it down, and it's just like pure acid.
Yeah, it's no good.
No.
Quick facts. Number 340. There is an underground mushroom in Oregon that measures 3.5 miles across.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you know, these may or may not be true. If you remember, I've not read a cap in a while, but yeah,
That's the one that's referred to, I believe, is the largest organism on Earth.
Oh.
Dang.
Does it all the Maserati?
Speaking of, I saw a man driving a Maserati that probably weighed more than the Maserati, and I had to do a quadruple take. That's how long it took.
Did the car look like this from behind?
It was like this.
Driver's side suspension discrepancies.
Yeah. It was actually a convertible. I think he gets lowered in and then unloaded. I'm serious. There's no way.
Built in jaws of life.
You just roll out.
Did you see? There was a video that I saw just a couple of weeks ago about that. There was this dude standing at a gas pump and pulls out his cell phone and started filming this dude roll up, and he rolled up in, I think it was a Ferrari. And
yeah. Guy. He's trying to get out.
He's like, man,
I think that was a Lambo.
I love your car. The dude's like, hey, thanks, I'm a film producer, and he's like, yeah, but why are you filming? Get away. And the guy's like, no, I just love your car. Just sat there looking at him, and he like crawls out his hands and knees.
Dude, his like, you see the steering wheel pushing his tummy down. Like,
it was so good.
It's the girdle when you have a steering wheel.
That's what I was thinking of when you started. I
completely forgot about that. That was so funny. Holy shit! It's like in Family Guy. It's like, I have a glandular issue. I see people talking about the whole...
I could afford, or the largest automobile I could afford on my budget.
I see people talking about the spring forward crap. Florida is passing laws to get off that shit.
I saw that was up for.
I can't wait.
I think it was actually your wife that shared it. I saw that link.
But then, if anyone in chat has been in New York City early on a weekend morning, it's quite nice. Like, no one's around. You're just like, I'm a vape like an asshole because ain't nobody around to complain about it.
Well, we'll see. I mean, they'll, if they pass it, then it comes to then the government to say, well, yeah, we will allow them to be on, the same time as, I think they call it Atlantic time, and just not have to, dude, honestly, down here, it fucking sucks that switching back and forth.
It sucks everywhere. It's retarded.
No, we'll hate it until October, November when we gain an hour. That's just that's still back and forth.
There's still I think there's like 3 states that don't do it.
Arizona's
one of them.
Illinois, I think.
I think
Arizona,
Indiana.
Hawaii, and Indiana. I think.
Yeah. And Hawaii. Yeah.
Well, Hawaii definitely does not need to.
The thing that gets jacked up though is being a techie guy. I've had to do date math before. It sucks balls because if you take Arizona for example,
you mean because they didn't code it to UTC? Yes.
Yes, correct. So Arizona, doesn't do daylight savings time, but like it's like 20% of the whole state is like the Hopi reservation, and they do. So in the same state, there's 2 different time zones, and then if you look inside the Hopi agency, there's like one little shack that's like still the property of Arizona, and it does. So like it's like a freaking Venn diagram of bullshit.
There was a post, I don't know if you saw it, of a guy who runs the IT aboard a ship, and they are crossing, date lines all the time.
Sure.
And he was worried about a recent one that they were doing because a lot of their billing system and stuff like that was not coded to UTC. And it was crazy because, especially with billing, all these bills are done at the end of the night, it closes, and, then
whatever batch jobs you've got that run
nuts, man. Yeah. So, but yeah, crazy
Some bullshit. There's a video that I saw. God, it was like, I want to say it was like 8 years ago or something, like a long time ago on YouTube, a guy that put together like a whole long like infographic video about why the daylight savings no longer makes any sense in modern times. Because people for a long time were still trying to justify it, saying it saves on air conditioning and blah 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 blah, right?
Yeah.
But he broke it down. He's like, nah, that's bullshit. This
It doesn't make Korean fan death.
Well, take my house for example. I work out of here. You can't raise the temperature in the summer here. No, my AC is running all the time.
No, you're damn right. No.
Do you know where I live? No.
Well, you know that's another problem too. Is if you let the hell outside creep inside, it's going to take you 2 times as long to cool that place down.
Right.
So
that's right.
But
if he doesn't,
that's when you see idiot neighbors with their water hoses spraying the roofs of their houses. Okay.
What?
Dude,
yeah,
we had yeah, there's been people down here, like when it's gotten crazy hot during the summers, they'll go out and spray the roofs.
Use some evaporative cooling.
Real talk. I used to have 4 big trees on the perimeter, like on the sidewalk around my house.
Mm-hmm.
And they got diseased. Like, they're not on my property. They got diseased and they had to cut them down, and they only replanted 2. So, dude, the shit, you feel it over the summer. Like, I have no tree cover. I'm gonna start spraying down my fucking roof. That's a great idea.
No, it doesn't do shit.
I'm gonna go take those freezer packs, you know, the little like square blue ones, and just like tape them to my shingles.
Just tape them on your arms. That'll do more good. Or either side of your neck.
That's like I had a guy at work that was talking about his fridge and his freezer keeping the ice cream cold, and he would say that he couldn't understand why the fridge was running during the day when he was not home and not opening it or anything like that. Well, I was like, what do you do before you go to, what is the fridge doing? Like, no one's home, he's not opening it. And I'm like, I bet you it's making ice. And he's like, oh, he's like, yeah. He's like, I bring ice to bring the ice cream samples back and forth. And he takes ice from his ice maker. So he dumps like half of his ice maker out. Well, the fucking fridge is running, the freezer mainly is running all day, making ice, and it has to. So, I just thought it was funny. It's like, oh yeah, it's making ice.
You'd think they'd adapt and use dry ice more often, but
chemicals, man, chemicals.
All that carbon dioxide, frozen shit.
Carbon monoxide, petroleum.
Man, we smoke graham crackers. You think we give a fuck about chemical?
You smoke rail crackers.
Smoke them graham crackers.
Graham crackers and custards and lemon meringue pies and shit.
Mm-hmm. It's true. Anyway. I smoked the hell out of some graham crackers, man.
Back to drink talk. It was a conversation I was having in Plumes Facebook earlier this week. So, as Girl Scout cookies are readily available, they partnered with Dunkin' Donuts, which is one of my favorite spots to get a nice coffee. They have 3 flavors you can get. You can get like the flavor swirls and such. I'm a caramel guy myself, just 1 pump, because I don't like drinking candy. So they have Thin Mint flavor, coconut caramel, the Samoa, and the peanut butter cookie. Not peanut butter chocolate. I think those are the tag-alongs. They should have done tag-along flavor. Anyway, coconut caramel. No, too boozy for me anyway. That after it's the way you can, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Thin Mint I just had a few hours ago. Pretty good. I actually think I need more than 1 pump to like fully taste it, but I liked it. Peanut butter though. Yeah. That's my glowing endorsement.
Hey, speaking of which, I do have an opinion on Girls Get. What the hell is up with the rename of the Samoas to Caramel Delights or whatever bullshit? That's such a stupid name. The Samoas are.
Why don't they make a separate Caramel Delight and I'll probably like it? Like,
no, it's the same cookie. They just had to rename it a few.
Yeah, why don't they make a new cookie and call it a Caramel Delight and have it just be like a shortbread with caramel on top and maybe some almonds?
No.
I don't know.
Hey, that's racist.
Dude, Shane Smith just said he paid his electric bill today. It's $340 for the month. Last month it was $660.
Where he be?
Man,
he must be somewhere cold.
He must be somewhere.
How the fuck are you paying more than I do? And I have a fucking 1960 something furnace.
When he sees his bill, "Ay, mama."
So I was actually really pissed off. I got speaking of bills, my heater is gas here in this house, and I got my gas bill last month, and it was $320. It was 3 times what I normally see, even in the winter, right? And fortunately, the utility company gives you like all these cool graphs of your consumption versus the average temperature of the month and stuff. It's pretty cool. So went back and looked. Last February was slightly warmer by like 8 degrees average or something, right? Colder this last February, but it was like $168 last year, and this year was like 300 something. I was like, I called them up. I was like, hey guys, there's got to be something wrong with the meter. There's something jacked up. So I had to go check the meter and did the whole reading thing, and apparently it was just that cold in February here. I didn't feel like it was, because all I know is last week we hit like 78 degrees like for 2 or 3 days, and I think it's this weekend, we're up to like 89 or something. I think it's going to be like 90 degrees this weekend. Bullshit.
No leaks.
It's bullshit.
Shane,
No leaks that you know of?
No, normally, I mean, like across the when it's even like mildly cool, like in the spring and in the fall, my bill for the whole house is like $60 or something.
Yeah.
And in the dead of winter, yeah, I'll pay like $100, $150 or whatever. But
I wouldn't think you'd need much heat in your office. Fucking things.
No, not my office, but my wife do get cold.
Yeah.
when it's the
wait, hang on. Isn't your stove gas also?
Mm-hmm.
That's all that elderberry cooking.
See, I said the same thing. So I talked to her about that. So it's funny you mentioned that. So she like doubled up. Like she's making 2 of the giant stock pots now, right? But she started that in December, and my December bill wasn't that bad. December bill was like $100, which is like normal winter price. Yeah. So that wasn't it. I thought the same thing, Matt. Yeah, but we kind of lined up when she was making her batches.
That's just crazy. That's double the bill.
The only time that ever happened
to me is fucking December. A few years ago was the first time ever that we had to turn on the emergency heat, which is those are actual. I think I don't even know how many kW fucking strips. It looks like a big ass toaster, and the air flows through it. When the heat pump can't keep up, and one of the relays went bad, and for like 4 days, because here in Florida the next day was fucking 70, 80. It ran the AC and the heat strips at the same time.
I hate that shit.
Fucking bill was like $600. I'm like, what the fuck?
Dude, Texas is like that too. It's bipolar as shit, right? So our spring and summer, like one day it'll be 20 and the next day it'll be 70. So it's the same thing. Like I have to basically put my house on the unit on auto, because like some days I'll legit use the air conditioning a lot. The next day I'll legit use the heater a lot, because just got to average it out a little bit.
I just suggested to Shane for his issues, his getting gouged for his power bill. Just at least in my house, my meter's in my backyard, so the guy from the electrical company just comes in and reads it. Just set a bear trap on his route. He loses, like, he can't read your meter, and there you go.
We had a guy in our neighborhood thinking that he could mess with his power meter by trying to drill a tiny hole in a plastic piece area and put something to stop the wheel. Oh, this is the best part. So he goes and gets the hole drilled, and he puts his little stick in there.
Yeah,
I think he used a paper clip or something to stop the wheel from turning.
Yeah,
and he thought he was stopping a wheel from turning because there was something. They're digital meters.
Yeah.
And the best part is that he didn't know that any tampering that he did with it. So he then later found out there was a digital meter. So then he tried to put tinfoil around it to keep it from being read.
Yeah.
I mean, like, yeah. We got an email from the HOA saying, and they had pictures and everything in the story.
Horrors of America.
But now they're making fun of us talking about the most boring adult conversations right now.
What's vaping?
Yeah, let's get it back on topic for a minute. What's your vaping?
Fucking vaping, right? Fucking radical. Limo, Narca, with the Nomen dip, and this one reserve in here. I'm like, what part of that did I forget? Yeah, that's it. I was supposed to have some vape melt today, some more juice, but I got the extra day delay.
Did you get a box from me a while back?
I did, actually. I completely fucking forgot. Thank
Good.
you. I did.
We can thank the gentleman whose name I completely forgot a while back for giving those to us.
Ah, yes, random dude who sent angsty stuff forwarded one of those to me.
Mm-hmm.
Random guy.
He sent me an Eye of Sauron air.
No, the drop.
Air drops.
Airdrops.
Yeah.
This week I've mostly been vaping on this weird box that William kindly sent over. On top I have a Narca, just like Foo, and I have a white Omen tip, just like Foo. But inside I've smoked my rail crackers.
Is yours chipped like Foo?
No, my white one's not. That's my black one. My black one is chipped, which sucks because that's my favorite tip.
I actually think, I'm not sure, but I think my chip may have expanded.
Oh yeah, no, that's pretty serious. Hold on, let me click on you. Yeah, it's a pretty good one. Mine's about a third smaller than that, which is enough to like bother you on your lip. You know, it's annoying.
No, I don't feel it. It's not too deep, but this came from the one fucking time I dropped this mod outdoors. On my where was it? It was on my driveway.
Luke Snow is drinking Snapple. He says Christopher Columbus was the first person to bring lemon seeds to America. That's what his lid says. Anyway, finish up. So that's what I got here. I also William did kindly send me 2 mods. This is the plug. Oh, by the way, this is the T3. Don't go buy one of these because apparently the group is a bunch of drama queens and shit because things are weird. It's just
really? A mod group that's full of drama queens?
Yeah.
Go figure, right? This is the plug. This is the other mod. I've got a story about this. We'll talk about it later. But on top of here, I have a Concord. Is it a Lake Concord? I don't even remember. It's Vaponauts, one of the Vaponauts things. And on top of there's one of the I don't remember what he calls it. These are still a post-style tip from Omen, but they're the less expensive ones. They're ones that are all Delrin. And they're good too. Anyway, it looked nice on there, so I put it on there. And inside of here is actually also Railcracker because I'm testing a new Addy, and every time I have a new dripper, that's what goes in there. Tanks, embellishment, drippers get Railcracker. And then there's some sundry other bits. I did use this a little bit yesterday and stuff. Masty, did you vape anything today?
I did, and I'm vaping a little bit left of it. I'm using this little turdlet here. I've been liking this thing.
The thing's great size, is that?
Yeah.
The button placement's a little bit unfortunate. It's kind of hard to get your
I know
all around that, you know.
I legit leave mine in the car. Kind of awesome.
That and second time where I have not. I don't know if you can see. I did it earlier before the show started, but I cannot follow directions. There's a max line, and I always the max line is like actually below this line.
Yeah. It's right halfway up or so. Yeah.
You see where my liquid bubble is, right? Yeah. And
well, you fill it to that when the thing's out, right? Because it displaces it to fill it up, right?
When the thing is out, yes. You don't fill past it like I do, and then get it all over the fucking USB and all over the front. That's the only thing I hate about this thing, but whatever. That's a picnic air problem in chair, not on a computer.
Why does Vinny think I love pickles?
I don't know. Maybe because his picture is a pickle. I mean, do you love pickles?
I actually am not a big fan of pickles.
Anxie loves pickles.
Oh, you know what? I did make Alton Brown's firecrackers before, which are really good. They're the little mini carrots, like baby carrots, with pickled with like peppers and stuff. Like it's like spicy. They're little spicy guys. Freaking good. I haven't made those in a long time.
Nice. So if people
nice change the subject.
if people want to get into the vaping shit, here's a link, an article about the Italian authorities rating the vaping.
Man, I have the shit open.
That was my Italian thing I was gonna share.
TLDR.
Drop the mic. So that's it. I just gave the intro. Now you can talk about it.
Oh no, it's fine. That's exactly what I was going. Here, I'll just go ahead and share it. That way, people can see if they don't want to get the link later.
TLDR, it kind of went the same as the New Jersey Vape Expo that me and the Ball of Us were so fortunate to attend.
Yeah. So it looks like Italy's cracking down on taxing vape stuff, and they had a full-scale raid on an expo. The funny thing to me about it, and like the telling part is here. These measures are likely due to a reported 200 million euro shortfall over 2 years because of vaping price. I assume people not buying tobacco and buying other things that they're using to replace it. So, I mean, somebody touching my Mosfet. That was the thing that I was referring to in the show name.
Somebody that touched a Mosfet.
But yeah, as you know, that country in recent years has been too broke to pay attention. So this is what they do. Like New Jersey, what they did at the Vape Expo. Not because, I mean, New Jersey has their own money problems, but they're like did a show in a state that already has a lot of red tape, and then some drama. I don't remember. Anyone who was there, fuck that show. It was so goddamn hot that day too. Holy fuck.
Yep. So I mean, that's obviously sucks. And obviously there's a lot of squonky stuff that comes out of Italy. I don't know how they're handling that. If that's going to affect shipping going out of the country, I don't know. Old Turtle Fumes, I think, is based out of Italy. I think that might be a problem getting stuff out of there. I don't know.
They're like, no more terribly wired mods and squonks. And if anything, they were saving the consumers from shitty mods. I mean.
So did you guys? I mean, let's see. Does one of you have the Visnjic webpage issue?
Nope.
That would involve me being interested in a Visnjic product.
Okay, so do not go to the Visnjic site. Apparently,
right.
It's been hacked, and I'm not going to go find out if it's fixed already.
You know, the 510s didn't get hacked.
Yeah, but
is there malware on there or something?
Yep. Basically, when you go there, you are prompted with this screen.
Oh dear.
And basically, the story was put up by Roydy, and it says, stay away from Visnjic's site. Went to their site, and this popped up. The site is clearly infected with some shit malware. Poked around a little and found some other problems that are a clear sign that, quote unquote, our developer is the CEO's teen nephew. No SSL version of the site. Their backend login page wasn't hidden. The visnjic.com/WP login. They're using a 3-year-old version of WordPress. They're using PHP 5.6, and it's basic shit that any decent person in the industry fixes for WordPress sites, seen as the most popular hacker-friendly website builder on the planet. If you need to go to the site, make sure you use the NoScript plugin from Firefox and ScriptSafe from Chrome. So there's that first one, and the other one is more of an image of some of the stuff the site's doing. So, yep. I'm sure there's going to get quite a few people on that site. So, but yeah, stay.
Sorry, go ahead.
Stay it away.
Stay it away. Speaking of pickles, Mr. Sporklife or Giz just reminded me that I tried his sliced hamburger pickles e-liquid. That he didn't tell me what it was before I took a drag, and I almost puked. That's
why he didn't tell you.
It was brutal. But he sat there and vaped on it. He's a sick man. He's a sick man, that kid. Oh, speaking of which, did you see all that stuff with the DJ LSB? And fucking
Boxer
ginger
Bob.
vapes? Or Boxer?
Yeah, it was something I didn't want to talk about. I mean, I'm probably going to speak about it more in detail next week because it's still pretty fresh. Crucifixions.
You gotta ping Daniel and get some get skinny.
Pretty much. But yeah, so there have been complaints. Actually, let me go to his Instagram. /DJ. Hopefully that URL works. Boom. First try.
Boom.
Boom. Let's see. So we go to here. And then we... Ooh, that looks good. I saw this earlier. Daniel made that. Yeah, it's this shit right here. So, fun fact, I don't know how to go to... Okay, you can go here. Heard bad things about their products, their customer support. I've had people reporting to me the most dumb things they post, and they say like a few months ago claiming their device to have 0 voltage drop. Okay, the 0 voltage drop thing I don't really care about because motherfuckers have been claiming that and their mech mods since I've been around since I started.
Since ever.
0 voltage drop, man.
Since chromium, rhodium, polonium coated shit
Polonium.
Polonium. Fucking Chinesium polonium, baby.
We've got many requests to check their overpriced products from unsatisfied people. I guess a lot of people are right. I've seen people hang out having serious and dangerous problems with their unregulated mods and their 5-pin connectors. I guess got blocked because they were able to respond. And here's the thing. This isn't the first time I've heard complaints about this company.
No.
In fact, for those of you that like the waves of great popcorn eating in Vapecore, they are on the list in Vapecore. I don't know why. I haven't looked in. I need to look into that, I guess, or I may have been drunk when I was told. Don't remember.
But I told you remember this thing, right? This is the original like limp dick refiller.
Yeah.
The boxer one is the worst refiller that I tried.
So, you gotta do the sound when you do it.
It was better when it was full of...
Because they weren't able to respond accordingly to what I said and accordingly to their accusation, which is not... I never speak about anything I don't have experience with. Maybe I have to buy one and see for myself. I'm looking forward to this. To be honest, I really like... Surprise of being unique. And... So... What does this mean, Masty?
Hang on, I'm not looking at your
screen.
He
was asking him if you could use their big mod as a power bank.
Ah, yes.
And they hadn't unlocked that or something. I don't remember what it was.
So zoom in on this side. The future of the board can include the adapter for that. They will come with the replay updated, or I'm gonna have to do it. Of course, it will come with a replay.
The short stuff that I got when reading through that, they're just
okay.
Terrible. Oh yeah, when they started accusing them and stuff.
Yes, this is when Boxer Mod slid into Daniel's DMs. I've heard the crap and false rumors you've been spreading about Ginger Vapor. I suggest that he has no soul. Suggest you come to your senses and not escalate this. That right there is a thinly veiled threat.
Yeah, it's not
right there.
Not really veiled at all. It's just basically a threat.
You know, you better go take a walk around the block there, Johnny. You know. So anyway,
be careful ordering from Ginger Vapors is a short version.
No, that's next post.
All your boxer stuff. You know, some people say they got their stuff. Some people say that it took months and months to get it, and some people say it's impossible to get it. They get their shit fixed. Yeah, it goes on and on. There's a lot of bad scuttlebutt there.
Yeah. So we're gonna keep this on, like the smallest burner on your stove. We're just gonna keep that. We're gonna keep that warm for the next week. Oh, I dig because I think this came up yesterday, I think, or 2 days ago. When did he post this? Zoom out. Yeah, when was this post from? 1 day ago. Cool. So yeah, and this isn't the first time Daniel's had to go with the manual. Well, most of his beefs have been with Chinese vendors, so I think all of it is the first time. So stay tuned. Find out next week on DJ LSB Vol Z.
So says the folks that talk about the tosser box.
Gular says, duh, they have ginger in the name. What would you expect? Spawns of Satan.
But I don't understand what Horror is saying. So, I mean, obviously, I call it the tosser mod. I've called it ever since I bought that mod a couple years. What are we? Is it because we're saying we're not going to talk about something bad, like a bad experience? Have you seen?
Gonna need you to elaborate there, sir.
Dude, we'll talk shit about whatever. If I have a bad experience about something, I'm gonna tell you.
Yeah, it's not. Angsty said, "Get one, just don't get one directly from them. Get one secondhand."
Right.
I remember that shit.
Terrible support.
Yeah.
Oh, he's saying. Oh, okay, gotcha.
Oh, horror. This seems to be well, from what Daniel's saying, both bad support and bad mod.
Right.
So they are nice mods. I think I've talked about them on the show before.
I brought them up once before because when they went to release, I don't think it was a 75. Maybe it was a 75C. It was older than that though, so it must have been the 75 when they were releasing that mod. I did mention them on the show, but I think at the same time I said just to be careful because we'd heard these things, about the poor customer service. But and then I also the other time that I know I talked about them was when I bought this thing, and it's a terrible design for a refiller, which is too bad. I seem to remember saying that the top cap was really kind of really nicely milled, because it's a lot of steel. It's a lot of steel, and the threads are all nice, and it was fine. And it was that was the other thing, is it was insulated, and most of them aren't. That was one of the positive things I said about it, because I think this is the first one that I saw that was the 510 deposit pin was insulated, so if you fired it, it wouldn't short your mod out. So that's good. But yeah, I mean, all the other stuff comes with it. I did not get any vape mail this past week since the last show, but right before the last show, I did get a couple of things that I haven't talked about that I meant to, and I don't believe he's in chat. But William, thank you again for sending the care package down when my main mod died, because you really saved. But one of the things that he sent down was this. These just look like regular cutters, don't they? Yeah, I mean, they kind of just do. But these are Knipex, which the only thing I had ever seen about Knipex was AVE talking about Knipex tools. And I never really looked them up, but they've got lots of different wrenches and stuff. And these things are expensive.
I forgot about those.
Yeah, these little tiny flush cutters, which you can buy from Fast Tech for $2, right? Something that's kind of basically the same thing. These Knipex ones are they're $18 or something like that on Amazon. They're really expensive for cutters, but I have to say they are a pleasure to use. They are super light.
Good shit.
Yeah, they're super light. They're super sharp. They work great. And I don't know if it were me, I don't know that I would go out and buy them. I just don't use that particular tool that much. If I used it as a profession or something, sure, right? If it's in my hands all day long and I was using it all the time, sure. This is something that I use once a week when I rebuild. I can probably use the $2 ones.
Actually, it's fine.
Here's some.
Yeah, I mean, I've had pairs that
these are a little bit more expensive, but not as expensive as an Ipex. But the Exolite ones, at least what I've mainly used them for is for cutting ends and leads and stuff like that off of boards and soldered joints, trying to get stuff out.
Yeah,
but
because I bought a 3 or 4 pairs of Hakos I think we were talking about this with William. I think he got his Nipexes, but eventually you can see that. You can see some Swiss cheese when they're closed. They're good. They've lasted me a while. I bought these in like 2014, 2015. But if you want to hold your Nipexes back up, Angsty, if you're wondering, because there are numbers on the handle. I don't know why I know this, but yeah, they're like numbers on the inside handle. The third number, I think, is actually the length of the tool.
The third number is 4 inches long.
Hold them up. Let me see.
Yeah, here.
On the other side.
Zooming close-ups. You want to see that side?
No, other side. There should be numbers on one of the handles. No, not the skew.
The skew.
Oh yeah, that one. So yeah, 125. Those are the fun fact, 125. That's the length in millimeters.
$125?
Yeah.
They're not that bad.
But I've used their stuff a handful of times. Not their cutters, but they make really good shit, and the handles are great too.
Yeah, they're flush cutting wire cutters. That's exactly what they are. Chat's asking.
So yeah, fucking anything.
I mean, you can definitely go on Amazon and spend like $50, but to buy like one pair of Knipex, pliers, or they make all kinds of stuff, of course, all these different tools, and they're really cool. So thank you for William for sending that over. The other thing he sent that I was going to talk about was the bottle. So we did a bit of a bottle trade. I sent him some Mod Maker ones that I bought, and sent him something else, and he sent me down the newer style cappies. So the cappies are made by Sonbox, and the first original cappy was the first silicone bottle that I ever saw for sale, and I ran that on my Dia for a long time. It's a great bottle, but they make some different ones now. This one's square, which just kind of fits in snugly with. Oh, by the way, I don't know if I said this or not. I think he's sick. I don't think he's actually in chat tonight. So get well soon, sir. I hope you feel better. But I'm going to pull one of these things out and show you one of the things that they do, this latest model version does, because it's interesting, and I'm not sure I like it in some ways. So the square one's one thing. They've been making that one, I think, for at least one of their generations or something, and that is because it fits these, this big popularity of these 3D printed box mods, right? It fits a little bit extra e-liquid in there, which is fine. But the interesting about this newer model is, just like the other ones, that's silicone, but the top is squishy too. So you've got squishy bottle, squishy threads, squishy cap, which goes on, and then a real thick tube. So I was initially very skeptical about threading on silicone. I didn't think it was going to work that well, to be perfectly honest. I have heard some people say it leaks on them. I've heard other people say that it works fine if it's really dry on the threads and inside the cap. If that's all really dry, it works okay. I can say now that it does, kinda. I have had a couple of times where it started suddenly leaking air through. So obviously all these squonkers, they all work on a siphon system, right? So the tube's at the bottom, and when you compress the container, it squishes the e-liquid that's on the bottom of the tank because gravity, and squirts that up into your addy. But you have to have an airtight seal to do that. So I had it all of a sudden. I was out and about, and I was vaping, and I went to go squonk, and I pushed, and the bottle just goes sink, like my fingers went right into it. And when I let it go, like a giant bubble came back down, and what it was doing is it was leaking your air bubble in the tank. It was leaking that straight into the addy.
You tickled this Johnny.
And it squirted. Well, that's the problem, is it didn't squirt, right? It just pushed air up there instead of the e-liquid that I wanted to.
You did the over 2 demonstration.
Got to get in there and give a little Ben Miller action, who just had a baby, by the way. I don't know if you'll ever watch the show, but congratulations, Ben. He just got his baby home, which is cool. So I had to, while I was out and about, I had to take my bottle out of the squonker, unthread it, dry off the threads, kind of get my, the t-shirt in there and dry off the threads and inside the cap and put it back, and it was back to okay. But so it's not flawless, but the thing that's nice about it, and I should show you this a little closer. These mech boxes, one of the problems is, let's get something I can point with here. One of the problems is your positive bar here is right next to your cap. And this one's got a little wrap of electrotape around it, so it's insulated already. But on some of them, that's not insulated, and that could technically be metal touching the positive, and you're also touching the battery, right? So these three things all right next to each other is not a great idea to have something conductive between them, right? So the idea on the Sonbox thing was to put something non-conductive in between there. So it's a good idea. I like the idea behind it, and I mostly like how it works. You just got to be kind of careful with it. Now the upside is most of us these days are using refiller bottles anyway, right?
Insulation. Man's got insulation.
Yeah. So we're using refiller bottles anyway. So if you get the threads dry and you assemble it and you're refilling from the 510, no problem. Right? If you were taking the bottle off and on and unthreading and filling all the time, I could see that being a bigger problem. But if you got a refiller, ain't no problem. Shane says the 7 mil cappy fits perfect in Limelight, which is good to know because Will sent me one of those. And I tried to put it in the box mod, it would not fit because it was too big. But to his point, they do make bottles that are a little bit bigger. This is bigger than this.
Works kind of poly-wally cappy.
Mm-hmm. So overall, I think those things are pretty cool. Oh, and I do believe that the cost is quite a bit lower as well, because there's no metal on it, right? They're all molded parts. So I think the cost has gone down quite a bit, which is good. I don't know how much it was because I didn't buy these because I traded with Will. So sorry, I don't have that info offhand.
Could you potentially do the super soft method and just throw an O-ring at the bottom
for
the cappy leaking issue, or is it just?
Well, it's coming out. Well, maybe not, but the problem is the cap's flexible too, right?
Oh, right, yeah. So if the threads and the cap threads are flexible, then
yeah. Shane, oh, thanks, Shane. He says they're $8 now. The 7 mil is $8, which holds shitload cheaper than the other ones.
Spray some Windex on them was my
probably spray some Windex. That probably
yeah.
So yeah, no, I was happy to try them out. I think they work really well. It's funny. I also had a Veritube one sitting here too, and those work pretty well because the cap's so thin that will often get around that issue as well. So that's cool. I mean, let's see, what were the original caps? They were like $22 each. They were so expensive.
Damn.
They were pretty. Yeah, they were pretty.
They're so good. What was that, Massey?
I said, yeah, they were pretty expensive.
Yeah, but I mean, these things being $8, that's a steal. It's great. Just keep them dry. Keep the threads dry.
Well, the Veritube bottles come in pink dough.
What?
So, but the Veritube bottles come in pink dough.
They do come. That's true. They do come in pink.
They do.
You know what? I never went back to talk to Perry about that. The only problem that I had with his bottles were the measuring graduations on it. Like, it was really unpleasant to touch. I hated that part. But you could turn them. They work fine.
But you could turn them, right?
You can't. Yeah, you just have to make sure it's turned the wrong way. It was the same way with the old Cappies. Had some really shitty writing on it, which I didn't like either. You had to turn that as well.
Luke Snow asks, Angsty, did you figure out your ceramic tweezer drama?
Yes, they chipped on me, and I hope they burn in hell. No, I didn't fix them. I mean, as far as I know, they're out of business. I sent them a message on Instagram, but they haven't posted in like 2 years. So, sucks. I wish they hadn't. I would buy 3 pair right now, just to have them. They're that good. I thought those things were great. Hell, I'd buy a half dozen. I don't care. Oh, you know what? I heard you guys might be interested in this. I heard from 2 different people this last week that they didn't know we had a juice line.
Yeah.
They watched the show that had no idea. Well, what the hell juice you think we're talking about all the time besides rail cracker, I suppose. But
so let's talk about our juice line that they can find at Gas Vapor Supply. Angsty pays $600 for his gasvapor.com.
Gaslight vapor. Gaslight.
Light the gas vapor.
You got a gap in your memory there, boy?
Oh.
Plus, you can buy one with my face on it.
No. Can you put the link in chat? And
I'd have a bottle with my face on it right now if USPS didn't suck a dick.
Did it get rubbed off or something?
Ew, gross. Oh.
See, who's gold?
No, I'm just wondering if the box got all messed up.
I don't think so.
Gotcha.
Let's see, how far back are we? Oh, yeah, we're on the front page.
There's a link. If you're in chat, you're confused by that link. Google Hangouts rather YouTube always puts a trailing slash on the link, and it won't work. So just delete the last character, and then it'll work fine.
And I mean, then you can just click this one because that's the best one. So.
Whoa! Okay, wait.
But we also have two. We have two.
Boom! 3 in a row.
How is there no damn customer reviews?
Here you go. Deadline is ours too. And plus, then if you order Deadline, you can get one with this guy, and he's got a margarita that's made out of cactuses.
Dude, I'm waiting online because my K45 is coming back. I'm supposed to be back.
Fucking shilling over 9,000 right now.
I know. I thought I'd spam the chat. I got to make up for like the 18 people that are there.
Yeah, so we don't flog our stuff very often, but it also made me feel bad that somebody that watches this show didn't know he had a juice line.
Sure. Here we go. So you go to
let's start a Patreon, dude.
And then you click on patreon.com/
needs cash money.
deliciousness. Yeah. So that's good. Good stuff. Look, and then you got this guy over here.
You can filter by brand in the upper right hand corner, Massey.
Who's in the jam? Oh, well,
the upper right hand corner drop down. Yeah, that one. No.
It is available in Canada via Hazetown Vapes, Thomas Rubble.
That's right. And if you're in the UK or EU, you can get it at justadnick.co.uk.
No, why did you do that? John Martin just woke up.
Good. You should wake up. Start selling all juice, bitch. Thomas Rubble. It is available in Canada. Food just told you where it was available. None of us talk about WA anymore. To be honest, WA was not my very favorite one. In fact, I haven't vaped it in I don't know how many months. It's been a while.
Fight Festucian. I used to vape it all the time in tanks, and the problem is that I did squonk it a few times. I don't like it as much in a dripper, and the problem is I don't really fucks with tanks that much these days.
Mm-hmm.
I am back on my Foos Gold. I throw that in that Inikin tank because it's pretty damn tasty in there, to be honest. WA is really my thing with WA is kind of like it's like a Lushington principle.
Mm-hmm.
You got to vape that shit quick because the peach that's in there.
Yes.
If you let your WA sit for like a month, the peach will be very hard to taste. It is still like one of my favorites out of our line. I just don't know. I'm not vaping the medium that supports it best.
That's exactly right. And yes, Thomas, it's Hazetown. And tell them we said hello. Those are good. They're good peas.
Toby.
What up, Toby?
What up, Toby? Shane. So still have to try piss. Come on, dude.
Oh yeah.
Really gotta try it.
Not acceptable, Shane. Come on, man.
Really gotta try it.
Yeah, you're probably right. We probably should put that in there, Foo. Remind me later. I'll edit that and get that in it.
Yeah.
The link to what we just put in the side chat. So there's that. Let's pull up my notes. What else we got to talk about? You got anything to talk about this week?
I just had the Italy. I'm trying to remember. I don't have any crucifixions this week. My time on my porcelain throne has been spent doing other things instead of looking for questionable branding. I did find one, but yeah, I can't. It wasn't good enough to do like a one-hit kill type deal.
Wasn't we're spooling up the flutes?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I should have some next week. And for those watching, don't forget, I am always open to suggestions. So if you have me on, if you're on Instagram and want to send me some shit, people do send me stuff. So the gates are back open for juicefixions. I give no fucks what.
But my wife sent me a picture like this. Spider on the floor. Terminate.
Hey, Foo, describe your Foos Gold for Castello.
It is a peanut butter oatmeal cookie with a tobacco finish.
Deliciousness.
A little bit of tobacco.
The problem is there is a catch. It won't kill your coils. It will kill your cotton. Like, it's gonna make it dirty, and you're gonna taste it like, yeah,
delicious.
like dirty, like Lindsay Lohan in 2008. Dirty, like, like. I ran it as my all day in an Origeny, and I was changing my cotton twice a day. Worth.
It was worth it, but
it's a dirty bitch. No cigar is a little bit worse than that, but it's a more tobacco forward flavor than Foos Gold. Foos Gold's good.
It's just not your average tobacco vape.
Do any of your liquids use sweeteners?
There are none of our stuff use sweeteners that's added.
Just the people it's made after.
But I think some of them might have it from the factory kind of thing, right? I mean, like, it's not, there's no sweetener added to it, but some of the raw, individual flavors might have a little bit in there.
But in the case of Foos Gold, it's tobacco, and it's.
Elizabeth just said, "Wait, what do they sell?"
Yeah,
smokable liquids.
Well, you know what though? I think this is probably the longest we have talked about our juice on an episode.
We announced it.
Since we announced it.
Ago?
Oh, yeah. I thought it was shampoo. I rinse with Foos Gold.
I'm serious.
Yeah,
it's been like forever. Well,
that's why I brought it up, because we don't ever talk about it.
I think it's been a disservice to our viewers.
Thomas, ping Toby on Facebook. Pull a paste down and say, "Hey, where's my Po juice?"
I'm in Canada. I don't want to have my shit seized by customs.
That's right. Toby will make it happen, I'm sure.
Yeah.
I'm sorry they're currently sold out though.
Yes, and the peanut butter. Yes, peanut butter can also be a dirty bitch.
Yeah.
JTH reviews.
They have cloud makers in stock. I can't imagine why they still got those sitting around.
That's awesome.
That is funny.
You mean a slightly higher end IPV?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
JTH reviews depends on what flavor companies use. Yeah, no, the people that make MCVS, Music City Vape Sauces, who actually mixes our e-liquids, and Amanda helped each one of us come up with our 2 flavors each. And she uses a variety of places. In fact, some of the stuff from both mine and Sean's comes from like Italy or something. Like she uses stuff from all over the place to get it right. So
she touches spaghetti if she has to. We refer to her as juice moms.
Yep. Brian, Mass Tea is really throaty. It certainly can be. It certainly can be, and it depends on the age of the Mass Tea.
I recommend Mass Tea in a dripper.
Dripper and pretty warm.
It's smooth at like, I ran that on the Parallel 24s I used to run all the time, and it's probably the smoothest that I've had it is on that build.
And both of mine, Abolishment and Get Pissed, I prefer them in tanks. That's why I still have a billet box, is because that's where I like to run them. Now, William goes through like a gallon of Abolishment every month, and I'm not really joking too much. He goes through a lot of Abolishment.
He has like 847 mods with squonk bottles in them, and so yeah, he has Abolishment, and
he vapes them.
And then he gets like a gallon of Abolishment, and he gets like a 30 mil of Pissed.
How do you like it? Shane said he runs his Mass Tea in his billet box, 20 watts, 0.7. Not bad.
Oh, and then I think, I'm pretty sure that Mass Tea is the thickest cloud. It's the fluffiest cloud out of the bunch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to give myself the ribbon for second place with Foos Gold.
Mm-hmm. Get Pissed, not so much. It's not as cloudy.
No,
Abolishment does okay.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not bad.
Biggles is the only person I know that enjoys it at 100 watts. I don't like 100 watt Abolishment.
He's a madman, that Bigglesworth.
Yeah.
So I got dragged to a birthday party this weekend, and and I had kind of a busy day before that, and so I asked my wife if I could drive separately. She was driving some other people in her car, and so I drove separately in my car just to have some quiet before I got there. And I knew it was going to take about 45 minutes one way to get there. So I was like, well, that's 45 minutes down, 45 minutes back, and we're going to be there for a while. I'm going to take a mod. I'm going to take a couple batteries and e-liquid, right? Because I carry in my keys pocket, got my pocket knife, and I've got a spare battery and the little 15 miller refiller, right? I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll take 2 mods, maybe each one with a fresh battery. That way I've got 3 batteries, 2 bottles, 2 builds in case something happens, whatever, right? So I took both of William's mods, and I'm really glad that I did, because I was vaping this guy with the plug, which has got the nicest throw, but no safety. So I was going to vape this in the car down there, right? So that way I wouldn't have to have it in my pocket with no safety. And I'm also testing out the Concord. So I vaped this about 20 minutes. And while I was on the highway, going 75 miles an hour, it just stops. It stops firing. And it's a mech. I'm like, what the hell? How can this just stop firing?
It's supposed to auto fire, not fire.
Right.
Now people remember Anksy works from home all day or day. So when he's out on the highway, he's kind of like your 90-year-old grandma that hasn't driven in 3 months, but she's got to take herself to go get her freaking prescriptions because her shit got opalaka'd.
Don't forget Insure, because Amazon doesn't deliver that anymore.
The first part of your story is right. I do work from the house, and but I don't drive like that because I drive like a bat out of hell now because I don't ever get out of the house, right? So I'm cruising, this fucking thing stops running, and I was gonna say, so I've had this last 9 months the worst luck with mods. I've had like a black thumb with mods, right? My Gloom died, and then a few months later when it came back, it worked fine for a while. Then my Gloom fucking died again, and then I dropped my Walnut, and it's acting up and being weird. So this needs to go back and get fixed. And then I get this mech. I'm like, okay, there's no way a mech can fucking die on me, right? And the mech dies on me. It's just some plate of like silver and shit in here. It can't die. It did. So anyway, so
honestly, you should go get yourself an SVA mod now.
Give myself what?
An SVA mod. It'll work.
My luck, just it's totally backwards. Anyway, so I put it down, put it in the little cup of blue thing or whatever, went over to the T3 and vaped this for the rest of the day. So the reason I bring that up is what happened was this is the second time that this happened, because the first time it happened, I was here and I was putting the bottle back in, and the 510 fell out. Like the bottom part of the 510 just kind of fell out of it. I was like, what the fuck? So I found it and I was like rethreading stuff back in there and got it back together. And this is the Mod Dog, I think it is. Mad Dog?
Mm-hmm.
Mad Dog. I forget which. Shit.
Chat.
Yeah. So this 510 is extraordinarily complicated because it's even this little bottom part from the silver part down is like 15 pieces. And it all unthreads and shit, and it fucking fell out of the mod. And then, so in this car trip down there, that had not happened, but it just stopped working because I actually did glance at it, and seemed like it was still up there, right, and whatever, but it wasn't making contact anymore. So I took it apart when I got home and put it back together. It's yeah, thank you, Mod Dog. I had a brain fart there, Chris and Fuchazi. So that 510, not a big fan. Not a big fan of this 510. I hear it works well. It's clearly conductive. It's all like rhodium plated and it looks nice, but it's fucking fallen out of here 2 times. And I can't, that's not my fucking fault. I'm just using the mod.
Did you say it's not your first rhodium?
It's not my first rhodium. Anyway, so that did happen. Not a big fan of this Mod Dog thing. But that said, William says he's got Mod Dog 510s in like 3 of his mods, and this is the only one that's ever given him problem. Maybe it's just this one and this one mod. I don't know, but of course I get the one. fucks up all the time. Ugh. Come on, my gloom died 3 times. No, it didn't. Die twice. Twice, and I granted it. It's still getting fixed for the second one because I just sent it off a while back. By the way, oh, never mind. That's a whole other. That's a whole other problem.
So, Fistucian asked about the Delrin on the Limo and how people get scratch. This might make people cringe. I haven't polished mine since I've had. I've cleaned it sometimes, but you know, it's I got some. Shit's got some scratches on it. I mean, a good wet sanding will get all of them off, but this is like SX Mini status right here. Well, it's not going to quite be as beat up as my SX Mini, which is actually right here with an Origeni with, so I don't know. My thing is, if it's a mod you use all the fucking time, it's a lot of work to just keep it pristine looking. Just let it get some scratches.
Yeah, no, there's no, I mean, this walnut is now gorgeous because it's like covered in e-liquid and just my hand oils just holding it all the time. I think shit needs to get used. Who wants to like buy a mod and just like put it on a shelf? That's dumb.
Look, I'm not gonna be a fucking sneakerhead about my mods. Like I have like my coat pocket. It's like I have the front boob pocket, which is a great mod pocket, but sometimes my keys are in there. Yeah, and they'll scuff them some. It's like fuck, thing's still working.
That's right.
All that matters. The screen's a little shy, but you know what we do? We go magic.
Magic.
Boom.
Freaking boom.
I just mask go magic.
Hang on. Now see now.
Where's the GIF?
That's coming.
I have to recreate the issue now.
No. My freaking window just disappeared over into the fucking screen hellhole over here. Shit.
Uh-oh.
When I move my Minicam over to my center screen and I hit the browse shoots over there.
So see, screenshot and you go
back.
Yeah, go.
It's back.
Magic.
Anakin does need to make a squonk, Rob. How the fuck did I not even fathom that?
Well, they did. They made that one with the lift system built into it.
Oh yeah. That's like
the Shiftronic of
you talking about this one?
They have a mod with that sort of technology built into the mod.
But that's like saying your Shiftronic's a stick.
That's a really good metaphor. I like that.
Yeah, right. But I feel like if they made us like everything they make is great. I'm like, why don't they make a squonk? I would be very intrigued.
It would probably be nuclear bomb proof.
Hey, listen up there, Fillican. Make a squonk. I like that.
So the last thing that I want to talk about is the thing that's on top of the plug.
There you go, Ahmed.
Oh wait, hold on. You got it?
Boom.
Magic.
That's what it was. I forgot it was the jazz hands.
Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
The last thing I want to talk about is the Concorde. So the addy on top of this thing is the Le Concorde from Vaping.
The Le Concorde.
Yeah, the Le Concorde. So I never bought one of these, and the reason is because I heard they were really good when they came out. I really didn't like the marketing around this because this is one of the guys that they said it's limited edition. We're only going to make a few of these things. Buy it now, real quick. And that really rubbed me the wrong way. I freaking hate that shit. Like it drives me nuts. The idea of stopping making something purely to drive the price and demand up is I don't like that. It rubbed me the wrong way, so I never bought one. But William sent one over to me to look at because it's not new and hype anymore anyway, so no big deal. So I thought we could go and look at it. It is Le Concorde. It comes in a little tin.
Ha ha ha. Le Concorde, Le Concorde.
So, I'm going to show you what it's got going on because it's a little interesting. It's got a couple things that are kind of different, and I don't know that it's necessarily a good thing. That's a little bit different, but I'll show it to you anyway. So, the styling's whatever, but it's got this big hoof and hole in here, as Todd would say, and then on the other side there's just a little
machine gun in there. It looks like a bunker.
Yeah. So on one side's a little hole, and then the other side's a big old, big old thing. Pretty, normal, somewhat machine sort of finish on the top. It's not really domed, but it's got a little. I like that
little. What is it? Chamfer.
Little chamfer in there. Yep.
Yeah.
And here's the deck. This is where you put your stuff. There's my little parallels, spaced out a little bit. Now that big hoof and coil that we're looking at, or hole for air, it feeds those. So it looks like it's got a ton of air, but it's really not. There's just these 3 little holes in there. So even if you max out the air, I'll put it down and show you. Even if you max out the air, it's only those 3 little holes, and then you can block 1, 2, or 3 of them off, or you can use the single hole and put that down, and just show one of these things, right? Like that, if you want to really cut it down real good. But the interesting thing about it is there's just those holes. If you look on the other side, nothing. So it's only fed. It's only air fed. It's just right through there. And then let's see if I can show you.
Do they converge, or are they still all 3? Oh, okay. There's still 3.
Yeah, there's 3 pass all the way through here, just like that. So it's pretty easy to build on. But to be honest, I mean, it's just a single-sided airflow, and I think it loses a little magic. Personally, it's not bad, but it's not. I don't think it's awesome, but it's at least not yet another Narda sort of design. It's a little bit different, and the panhead screws there's 2 on either side, 2 on the positive, 2 on the negative, and that'll let you wrap whichever way you decide to wrap. Obviously, this is the correct way to wrap. The problem with the little panhead screws is it's quite difficult to get to. If you wrap in parallels, you can see down there bottom on the negative contact there, you can see I'm just getting both those wires into there, and it took 3 or 4 tries to get them really captured under there really well. Does it work? It works. Am I glad that I tried it? I'm glad that I tried it. Am I glad that I didn't pay $120 or whatever for it? Yeah, I am. That's because it's all right. One thing that is kind of interesting that I forgot to tell you about, the first thing that I noticed when I opened this thing up is that cavernous hole is where you squonk in. The thing is, it's the largest squonk hole, the loosest village bicycle squonk hole I have seen.
Hot dog.
Yeah,
you know what that is, right? That's just laziness, because that's like a pre-punched.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Fitting.
That's exactly what it looks like. But that said, the benefit of that is if you live somewhere cold, and William mentioned this before I said it. If you live somewhere where it's cold, you can still squonk your e-liquid, even if it's flipping, cold. Everything's thick as shit. You can still get that thing squonked. Yeah, he has. Jared is saying that he hates using parallels and stuff like that. I do too, but I'm running them back, so I had to do what I typically like. Wait a minute, like Hellfire does? That was a question mark. What was that? Yeah, Ken. Okay, so is that for the limited thing? They don't advertise it like that, though. At least that's not my impression. That's not literally part of their marketing line, which is we're only doing this many of them. Hurry up and buy it. Hellfire is usually that's just what they do, right? They just don't release very many things because, well, I mean, Hellfire is a real small shop, and I think Mark and Co. I think they just don't make very many of these things, but they do repeated runs. I said do. They do repeated runs when it's stuff's in demand. They apparently made a metric shit ton of exosets, which is great because I still say it's the best thing Hellfire ever did. But I don't know if they're going to go back and make more. I was bothering Joe Check, who's apparently an admin over there now. I was bothering Joe. I was like, hey, now that you're on the end, get him to make some more exosets. Yeah, Fezzi, Hellfire makes one for everybody on the list, and then they'll do repeated lists sometimes if it's all sold out. They're pretty decent about it. Yeah. Did I miss anything else? Festi, Jumbo Jet, Concorde, Supersonic. That was the other one. That I think it's very similar to this, but it's a lot more air. Oh, which is good because this thing, it looks like it's a lot of air. It's not a lot of air.
As long as they don't make a mod called Le Hindenburg, am I right?
Automatically shorts.
They should just call one Fire Les Missiles.
The fires the missiles.
Fire Les Missiles. Oh, but I'm a little tired.
We'll go and have a nap.
Dude, I would
Fire Les Missiles.
I would donate my house if they made an addy called Omelette du Fromage.
Oh God. God.
I'd sell my house for $100, I guess. Yeah. I hope they're not watching this.
Yeah, that's right, kid. Just watch their group because when stuff's ready, they make a list. They make one for everybody on the list, and then it's pretty much it's either done or they'll make another list, kind of thing, right? They don't ever screw out on people like that. Anyway, that's what I want to talk about the Concorde. I think it's a good atomizer. It's not a bad atomizer. I'm glad I didn't buy one up front because I much prefer a Narda or the Narca or the Haku or the what was the one I just got? What was the one I just got?
Hussar. You sure it's not the Hussar?
Oh yeah, the Hussar. Yeah, thank you.
Hussar.
You were saying it fine.
Hussar. I was waiting for him to get it, but I was just gonna play the
yeah.
No, the Hussar looks pretty solid actually.
The Hussars are really good at them. I wasn't expecting it. I said this on the group the other day that that after having tried Shane's RDTA, I wasn't really going to even buy the RDA because it looked like the same deck, and it's the same deck basically, but they've tweaked a few things in it. It was
the little build rod scoop is probably my favorite part about it.
The build rod. Oh, did you see that in here? To its credit, by the way, big old scoop.
Oh damn! You could skate on that.
You could skate on that. So and this is fun, but the problem with this one is actually too big, right? So like even a 3mm coil rod just kind of
you have to put a number 3 pencil in there.
Yeah.
Is it the number 3 or number 1 that's like super fat?
Oh, I don't know.
What do these kids know in chat? They don't use pencils anymore. They use styluses.
Yeah. And yeah, the Shane, I can say the Hussar really does join the X2 list. It really is quite a good atomizer. I would totally put it with the Haku. I think I still prefer the CA a little bit more for a restricted hit like that, but it is really, really quite good. And since it's got the gates on either side of the screw terminals, it makes it pretty easy to tighten stuff down too, even if you got parallels. So you want to throw one on one side, one on the other side, or you can put them both under the one side and wrap it around. When you screw it down, it's
pencil numbers are for the softness of the graphite. I forgot. I don't know. Talk about a piece of information I completely forgot. Which guy said Fu needs a Haku? Maybe after seeing the Hussar, I think I'd rather have a Hussar because it looks more build friendly.
It is a little bit. But at the same, it depends on I guess what you're building, because the Haku builds really easily. The only because the Haku's got one of the terminals is just a hole, right? So just throw your build through there. It's just going to come down, trap it, no problem. And then the other one is still kind of guarded too. It's got a C clamp, right? So you put your stuff in there and screw it down. It's easy as pie. There's not many things that build easier than the Haku.
Oh, and also sorry, I forgot that dope squonking man. Like I think with what little you can do to innovate a squonking atomizer in the market, the Hussar found a way and didn't have to go too far to do it. So I like that.
And they've got a couple of really wacky caps. I really want the eye caps. I would totally get one of the black eye caps, which because A, it sounds funny, and B, it's got a really interesting shape to it. I'm not sure how to go about finding one of those. Maybe I'll wait until Vaping has one. Did you see Festi helping you out with the numbers on the pencil?
Yeah, number one's like a crayon, number 3 cuts glass.
Yeah.
I just remember before using a number 2 as a standard, I remember the ones they gave us in school were like fucking thick.
Yeah, it's just not. I think it's just different pencil.
I think it probably was number 2 in terms of graphite, but yeah. I've not used a pencil in a very long time.
Yeah. Well, you always use the number 2 for those standardized tests.
I just go number 2. I don't use number 2.
Chat master
in there somewhere.
What else did I not talk? Oh, you know what? There's one last thing I forgot. This is real quick. This is real fast. There was one other thing that I happened to see on Vape News when I was looking at the Italy thing. Apparently, Fort Worth, which is near where I live, and Tejas has added vaping to the indoor smoking ban, which is flipping lame. So cigar bars and lounges are exempt, but the thing is, how many establishments already preemptively banned it because they can if they're a private? Almost all of them.
So it's just one of those like it's official now.
Right, exactly. I'm not terribly worried about it. It's the same sort. As long as you can do it inside a vape shop.
I just, I hate to be nostalgia and shit, but I miss those handful of bars in the city we could vape in.
Absolutely.
Oh, so
I'm actually curious. There's a couple of restaurants around here that explicitly allowed vaping in there because somebody hadn't douched out and clouded up the whole place yet. I'm curious what they're going to say now.
Do you remember when you took me to that bar that allowed vaping? Or you were supposed to go to a bar that allowed vaping?
Yes.
Talk about facepalm moments.
I forgot about that. We walk in, all the good old boys sitting up front at the little mini bar.
We're just like, why are there more people in here?
Well, we don't have our liquor license right now. Well, shit. How about we just leave that?
Do you have your serving wings license? God damn.
Yeah. All right, Master, you ready? Nasty.
Here we go.
There you are. All right, thanks everybody for coming out. I think we're gonna wrap it up for tonight. Oh yeah, we're over an hour anyway.
We're an hour. Let the guts out.
Pop them belts, boys. It's time to relax.
Yep.
Take off your sleeves, take off your shoes. Anyway, thanks for everybody joining us. We really appreciate it. Everybody wish William to get better fast. Join us next week. We'll be here talking the same old shit and probably even talking the utility bills.
Yeah.
Later, everybody. Peace out.
Peace out.
Oh, yeah. Clean my fucking desk.
Yeah, it's nice and clean.
Yeah. Two-step with me. Two-step.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, yeah. You got a cigarette?